The hook's definitely super, super catchy. The lyrics, they're doing the South Park thing for sure, where like in one way I could read these and be like, oh my goodness, this is a love song. And then you just sprinkle in enough words. In South Park land, it was just sprinkle you pretend you're writing a love song, but you just say Jesus every time it's a girl's name, and that's the song. Welcome to another episode of Recovering Hipster Reactions. I am Mickey P, the guy who's listened to too much music to have a regular reaction channel. This is episode number 3, and today's recommendation comes from the lovely wife, Lizzie. She suggested the song Honey from the Rock by Kelsey Breedlove. It was a single, was no album, came out in 2023. Kelsey Breedlove is a singer-songwriter and recording artist from Springfield, Missouri. In 2020, she released her first EP of original music entitled Heaven's Song, which gained her enough traction to put her on tour 3 separate times with the independent collective of Christian artists, One Big Family. As I've said before, not a big fan or big listener to Christian music, which is why I think the wife always suggests it. We also don't have a very long song here, so having not ever heard this artist and not a big, listener of the genre, let's dig right in and see what we can say.
You take all my hardships, press down and shaking over, and from them bring a sweetness. I've never been this satisfied before. You're breaking down my idols. Oh, just 'cause you can give me so much more. You're bringing me revival. I'm satiated, feasting on your word, like honey from the rock. Oh, honey from the rock. Oh, like honey from the rock. Oh, honey from the rock. Hey, hey, like honey from the rock.
All right, so I don't know a ton about the artist that I'm going to reference here, but it's hard not to hear, like, even in like the lyrics, the song is trying to stay super contemporary. To me, like, once again, not a huge person of listening to modern music, but it'd be impossible to not have heard at least a little Billie Eilish at some point. And is it Bad Guy? I think it's one of her big hits. And this song definitely has a very, very similar feel to that particular song. And what's funny is I'm reading through the lyrics on this. The hook's definitely super, super catchy. The lyrics, they're doing the South Park thing for sure, where like in one way I could read these and be like, oh my goodness, this is a love song. And then you just sprinkle in enough words. In South Park land, it was just sprinkle you pretend you're writing a love song, but you just say Jesus every time it's a girl's name, and that's the song. This kind of feels like you're putting in words that will like trigger things for Christian people. You're talking about my idols and my hardships, and revival, but like you're using them in words where it's like just a cursory listen of this it's like, you're from bringing a sweetness. I've never been this satisfied before, which is to me definitely leaning in towards the more blue kind of side of songwriting. And don't get me wrong with that. If I do have one thing to say, and this is just a personal quibble, she uses the word satiated, and I hate that word. I used to use it myself, but it's for the people use it because apparently most people don't realize there's a word sated, which is actually the appropriate way to speak, I guess. So every time I see satiated, it's a terrible sounding word, and I hated using it when I did because it's like it's how in your head you think a word would be used, but like, or how you think it would be conjugated or whatever in English for that use. But like, it's not a good word and it doesn't come off the tongue easy. It's just satiated. It's weird. And like that's one of your last things before this hook. I'm noticing another one of those trigger words I was talking about. Your word, very much, doing it for God kind of thing. So I'm just looking ahead. I'm gonna cue it back up here in a minute, but this second verse is very much even worse, almost than the South Park thing. Your lips hold liquid wisdom, and Lord, I'm coming back here to drink. Okay, your lips hold liquid wisdom, baby. I'm coming here to drink. Feels like what it should have been, but they just decided to put "and Lord" in there. I'm standing in your freedom, and I'm not in need of anything. To me, it just reads like a thirst trap song, if nothing else. And then it looks like it's going to go right back into the chorus. Considering I said it's only a 2-minute long song, less than 2 minutes, and we're already a minute in, it's going to do what I think it is, maybe. Let's see if I've got any surprises left here.
Your lips hold liquid wisdom. And Lord, I'm coming here to drink. I'm standing in your freedom. And I am not in need of anything but honey from the rock. Honey from the rock. Oh, like honey from the rock. Oh, honey from the rock. Hey, 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 hey. Honey from the rock. Honey from the rock. Honey from the rock.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it did what I expected it to do. I will say it doesn't ever lose the Billie Eilish kind of vibe, but it does kind of, as I'm listening a little bit deeper, I'm actually hearing a little bit of like Peach Pit in there. Not quite as indie, but it's, giving me it's giving me a little bit more guitar, and you suck back from like that heavy beat kind of lends it to that. And maybe it's just because I've been on a kick of these guys lately, but I can even hear a little bit of like the Cardigans in there, that Love Fool, Carnival kind of vibe, like some parts of that. Maybe it's almost like the production carries a little bit of that. Maybe it's like the positive vibe of the song, has that with it. At any rate, I could totally listen to this, and this one will probably actually go into my Spotify list, if for no other reason than I wouldn't even know I was listening to Christian music. I just assume it's a love song for somebody, because I'd only pay cursory attention to the lyrics if I hadn't looked them up, because I know Liz likes me to look up the lyrics. So, once again, folks, thank you so much for listening and hanging out with me in another review. If you want to go and donate, you can head over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. Link is in the description. Or if you'd like to request a song of your own, you can go look up, once again, link in the description to my my form to fill it out. At any rate, thank you so much for spending some time helping me find some new music. And take it easy.